Now, Nile Gardiner from the Heritage Foundation in Washington joins me now. He is director of the Margaret Thatcher Centre for Freedom, specialising in Anglo-American relations. He's also a British Conservative commentator. Niall, I mean, a bruising day for the Prime Minister, but what do you think it did for brand Boris at the end of it all?
Well, certainly a temporary defeat for the Prime Minister from a Parliament that one MP described as absolutely rotten, really. And I think that this is a reflection of the fact that in Parliament you have an overwhelming majority of MPs who are anti-Brexit, who are simply unwilling to implement a democratic vote. 17.4 million Britons voted to leave the European Union. Parliament simply is trying to block that vote, and you've seen that today with the let-win amendment. And I think the Parliament's operating in an extremely unhelpful manner at this time, actually, and really trying to defy and thwart the will of the British people. So I think for Boris Johnson, Boris has done all that is possible to negotiate, in my view, a very good deal with the European Union. He has called for a vote in Parliament on this deal. Parliament is refusing to go ahead with that vote. I mean, it's as simple as that. I think that Boris Johnson comes out of this actually looking very good, in that he is the Prime Minister who's committed to implementing democracy, to delivering the will of the British people. Parliament is now pitted against the British people, and I think that ultimately I do believe that Boris Johnson will prevail here, because I think this kind of, parliamentary protest today is very, very short-sighted. It goes against the wishes of the British people as expressed in a democratic referendum. There might have been tens of thousands of people today demonstrating on the streets of London. 17.4 million Britons voted to leave the EU in June 2016. That's a massive difference here. And the British people just want to go ahead, have Brexit delivered, and Parliament needs to wake up to the reality.
Niall, we've just had breaking news coming in. European Council President Donald Tusk tweeting, "The extension request has just arrived. I will now start consulting EU leaders on how to react." Hashtag Brexit. How do you react, Niall? That letter's in 50 minutes before the deadline.
Yes, well, as expected, I think the government has complied with the Ben legislation. But as the Prime Minister made clear just a couple of hours ago, he is not going to negotiate an extension with the European Union, and that's a very important factor here. I believe the EU will be really quite divided on this particular matter. Already Emmanuel Macron indicated in a phone call to Boris Johnson that he is not in the mood to approve an extension. And any extension that the EU offers, over the course of the next few days, I think would create just further confusion here. And I believe that some European leaders are not in favour of an extension that would simply just prolong the Brexit process. It's not in the interest of the European Union to have further delays here. And the EU certainly, I think, made some significant concessions with this Brexit deal. And I think that any further extension is just going to cause endless confusion. And it's in the interest of both the United Kingdom and the EU for Parliament to move forward and approve the deal that Boris Johnson has negotiated with Brussels, and for Britain to leave the European Union on October 31st. I think that is still achievable, provided the Speaker of the House of Commons, John Bercow, agrees to allow a vote on Monday, as the government is requesting. But I believe that this idea of an extension to Article 50, this is neither in the interest of the EU nor the United Kingdom at this stage.
Nile Gardiner, thank you very much for your insights, and we will have more Brexit after this break.